bleeding, and you are the reason I'm losing sleep. Please come back now. There goes my mind racing, and you are the reason that I'm still breathing. I'm hopeless now. I climb every mountain, swim every
be united to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Who then gives this woman to wed? You all may be seated.
Ceremony, I'd like to tell you something that probably the majority of the people in the building don't even know about. It's going to be first-hand information for you guys. New beginning, that's what it's about. There was a rich man in the Bible by the name of Abraham. Abraham had a son, they waited until he was 100 years old to have him. So when Abraham was getting ready to pass away, he gave all of his assets to Abraham, to Isaac. So Isaac went through all of the treasured stuff that his dad had accumulated all these years. And the Bible said that he sent donkeys full of those valuable assets to a land away to find a bride by the name of Rebecca. When he found the bride, he gave her all of those valued assets that his father had given him. So the thing I want to say to you, that if you will always value her as the greatest value that you've ever had in your life, today, next year, 5 years, 50 years, There are such things as 50-year marriages. Isaac and Rebekah was married for 130 years. I don't know if I'm going to be married that long, but 130 years, that's pretty good. My goal was to get the 50-year plate. I did that. So what I'm telling you is something that I know about. I don't know about losing and not being in a marriage for a long time, but I do know to win and to be in a marriage for a long time. If she will always be your greatest value, you will celebrate years of great things and great joy. But then when Rebekah got there and she saw Isaac, you know what she said? She said, I made my most valuable choice. So for you, always, every year, when you celebrate your anniversaries, when you're laying in bed at night, when you're even having hard times, I want you to always remember that this is your greatest choice. This man here is your greatest choice. If you'll keep reminding of that, he'll always be really lovable, really easy to get along with. Because the Bible says love endures all things. You believe that? So in a few minutes, I'm actually going to say words out of my mouth. This is the strange thing about marriage. I can say words out of my mouth. If you have the right paperwork, you're married by the words I say. You go on your honeymoon tonight, do you believe that when you get on your honeymoon, the words I said that said you're married are true? You believe it? So you won't say, no, this marriage license ain't no good, that guy don't know what he's talking about. It makes value, the words that I said, the words that I just said to you. If you will believe those and receive them as value, it will make your marriage great, your whole life, forever. Amen. So the gift of love is one of God's greatest gifts to man. Realizing its value, Corey and Heather, you've expressed your desire to always share your love in the light and in the obedience of God's love for them. The scriptures challenge us with the sacredness of the marriage relation. Is set forth by the love of Christ for his church and his example of his deep intimacy. In the 1 Corinthian letter, the great apostle beautifully guides us into the underlying meaning of love. Here's what it says. It says, love is patient and kind. You can expect that from one another. Love is patient and kind. It's not jealous or boastful. Love is not arrogant or rude. It does not take offense and is not resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but it delights in truth. Love bears all things. It believes all things. It hopes all things. And it endures all things. And now, Corey and Heather, having freely and prayerfully chosen each other as partners for life, you will join your right hands and you will face one another. Corey, you are entering into a relationship with many privileges, but also many obligations. The woman you love is about to become your wife. In no way could she tell of her love for you as her willingness to turn from home, loved ones, and friends, and to make her home with you. Your joys will be her joys, your sorrows her sorrows. Your people will be her people, and your God her God. Heather, you too are entering into a relationship with many privileges and obligations. The man you love is about to become your husband. He tells the world not only of his willingness, but of his desire to turn from all others and for you the rest of his life. Your love will be an inspiration, and your prayers his capital strength. Now, Corey, will you repeat after me? I, Corey, take you, Heather, to be my wedded wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer and poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until death do us part. Heather, will you please repeat after me? I, Heather, take you, Corey, to be my wedded husband, to have and hold from this day forward, for better or worse, for richer or poor, in sickness and in health, to love and cherish until death do us part. The exchanging of wedding rings represent the vows and promises that the bride has made to the groom and exchange with one another. If I can get those rings, I see three things.
As I look at these rings, I see three things. First, it's made of gold, a precious metal, something of great value. Let this ring remind you of the preciousness of your marriage. Secondly, it is carefully crafted. It is not made haphazardly or without care. May this ring remind you of the way the Lord has carefully made you, one for the other. Third, this ring is in the form of a circle. The circle doesn't have the beginning or doesn't have an end. Let it remind you of the everlasting love that God has towards you and has given you for each other. Corey, you take Heather's left hand. As you put this ring on her finger, will you repeat after me? With this ring, I thee wed. I give you all of my heart from this day forward. Now, Heather, will you take this ring, placing it on his left hand? Will you repeat this after me? With this ring, I thee wed. I give you my heart from this day forward. Too bad, isn't it? Today, we are going to blend lives together. In other words, your past, your present, your future will all become one. And you will work with it however it works out. It will just work out. And you'll have to make some changes and some decisions. That's what you're going to do back here in the blending of the sand. You're going to pour yours in, he's going to pour his in. Before you know it, it's all going to be mixed up together. It's going to work. Believe that? I do by the authority vested in me pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Grandma and Grandpa painted a picture of 65 years in one little house. More than a memory, more than saying I do. Kiss you good nights and I love yous. Me and you, baby, we'll walk in the footsteps and build our own family, one day at a time. 10 little toes, a painted pink room. Our beautiful baby looks just like you, and we'll build this love from the ground up. Now till forever, it's all of me, all of you. Just take my hand, and I'll be the man